All right. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry I'm a little bit late today. A, I woke up a little late, and B, I had a little trouble getting the game started. It crashed on me when I first got started. But we jumped right back in, and everything seems to be working all right. Stream seems to be working all right. So, yeah, today we're going to see about scouting another server. Um, to see about a raid. Uh, I have some trikes and stuff, which I will totally be able to use for the raid. My imprinted trike, well, one of them died. Um, there's been a weird glitch going on. It happened to me just now, where sometimes when you log in, even though most of, like all of my babies, other than this one trike, had plenty of food. Maybe, actually, I know what happened. It probably had a super low food stat, and that's why just that one died, and the rest of these didn't have that same problem. Never mind. It's not a weird glitch, it's just that I'm dumb. This is my halfway imprinted Pteranodon, though. I'm very excited about it. This is what we're going to be using to scout a server today. But before we worry about that, we need to go ahead and grab some berries and some meat, just to make sure that these little creatures here all finish raising up just fine. We'll take our parasaur down, we're going to get some berries, and we'll go kill some creatures with our RG, just get a little bit of meat. We'll stuff all that stuff in our troughs, and then we'll go see about making a trip. Maybe get into a little PvP, maybe get into a little raid action. We don't have a ton of backup pteranodons and stuff right now because we just haven't been able to get the breeding really going in that department. Um, do I not have a saddle for my parasaur? Am I a dum-dum? Could have sworn I saddled this parasaur. Nope. Okay. That's fine. I would have used the moss chops for berry gathering, but honestly, the moss chops just isn't great at berry gathering. They're okay, but they're not great at it. Um, let's get in here into the base. We've got some turrets. The base doesn't have the greatest defenses ever. It's kind of playing fast and loose right now with our safety. We need a little wood here. Get this crafted. Like I said yesterday, though, we are going to try and avoid doing any sort of like massive gathering or anything like that during the streams. What I would mostly like to do is gather all of my stuff, maybe even craft mostly off stream, and then go ahead and um, do all of my gathering and crafting and prepping and stuff off stream. We may do some prepping on stream, just because it's important to show, what am I prepping? Why am I prepping it? Um, what are some steps that should be taken where you're going to go do a certain activity? And also because y'all will end up teaching me stuff I didn't know, because some of y'all are way more experienced in this game than I am. And if I show what it is I'm doing and talk about my thought process, inevitably somebody in the chat will have already tried whatever it is I'm about to do and say, hey, when I did this. Alright. I don't need a ton of berries. We'll load this parasaur up all the way. And then we'll call it good. Alright. Just need some to kill for some meats. I really need to get myself a T or something like that. Um, just a little something that I can use to meat run and hide run and stuff like that. Something that's better designed for that particular activity. Because only getting 40 meat from that bear sucks. I guess I can also use a chainsaw. Have been killing racers and chainsawing them actually seem to work really well. And there are racers down here. In the redwoods. Don't accidentally run afoul of a thyla. I look for a little bit larger prey here. This is mildly obnoxious. There's a paracer. We'll get this killed real quick and go feed it to our babies. Am I suddenly not able to do damage to this racer? My RG has such low damage. Oy vey. Oy vey. Wait, RG. Not a DPS RG. So I want to go scout today either another center server or an island server. So I think the center and the island are very much the servers that the sort of Bobs go to. And I'm not looking to attack people in stone huts on the beach. I am looking to attack people who aren't super built up yet, right? Because I'm not there yet. Um, to attack people in your same weight class. And I think that the center and the island are probably the best places I'm going to find for people who maybe don't know exactly what they're doing and so are leaving themselves open to getting attacked a little. Bases out in the open, stuff like that. Yeah, we will, I don't just want to go to base locations to look for raids, because that's not really where most of the raids will be at. Most of the raids that I'm going to be able to complete are going to be people building in places that aren't typical base locations. Because the people who know the base locations tend to build them well. A bit of defenses. So, yeah. Let's, oops. The Parasaur. To get the Parasaur. It's got all the berries. Got our full kit on us here. Probably leave some of our stuff, like, we'll just get a regular hatchet instead of our good hatchet. And maybe if we have this stuff, we might make some shotgun shells real fast or something. Make some quick shotgun shells. Then we'll have something to defend ourselves with. Shotgun isn't gonna do great against like larger creatures, people who have really good, but it will do okay. Oh, shoot. That'll be good enough. Now I can go down here. Put all these berries away. I like having this little under my base section here. I also need to turn all of this stuff metal. Having a whole thatch base that's relatively open. I mean, this would be a super easy raid. It only hasn't been raided because nobody's come and done it yet. None of this stuff needs to be here. I could just run out of room the other day. Doesn't need to be wood in here either. Right. Put away the sources. Put away the structures and stuff. We're not going to take the trank arrows with us. We don't need these. Another hatchet. There we go. Cool, cool. Cool, cool. All of these creatures should stay good. But the last thing I really want to care about is that hatchet. Put that there. We have a couple of grapples, not a ton. I need to make some parachutes. Got a couple of bolas, couple of grapples, couple of parachutes. Nowadays, grapples are incredibly important. I'm fairly certain you can, not grapple, bolas are incredibly important. I'm fairly certain you can actually bowl a pyromane. Which drastically reduces their scariness. Also, because I woke up late this morning, I forgot to use the restroom before I got on stream. I was in such a hurry to get on, and I really need to take a leak, so I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. So let's put away these resources here. Let's put away our parasaur. And let's go scout us a server. Should we maybe go scout a Scorched Earth server? And while we're there, we could pick up some eggs. What do y'all think? I think that might be a good idea. That might be a real good idea. We could pick up some drops. We could pick up some eggs. Yeah, I like that plan. That plan a lot. So let's put our grapples on here. So I guess the only issue I have with doing a Scorched Earth is that I don't have any batteries. So if I want to if I want to be able to get my creature out, I'm probably going to have to do it by bringing a generator and a cryo fridge with me. Which isn't really a problem. I don't mind bringing the generator and the cryo fridge, but I don't have a generator or a cryo fridge made right now. So let's see about it. Cut in half. Only need 115. Back in there. Need 30 of this. There we go. We need 12 crystals, so half is that. And 7 electronics, so half is that. Nice. While we're gone, make a generator. And then let's see if one of my nearby drops has spawned. There's almost always a drop fairly close to my base that I can get to, which is actually really nice and something I didn't really know about this location until I started playing here. But there's one that spawns there. There's a couple that can spawn on this beach. There's one that spawns right over there. And then there's a few that spawn fairly close in the forest itself. They're all lower tier drops, so nobody's going to be coming over here drop hunting. The highest tier I ever see is yellow over on this bridge. So there's just not a lot of people that spend very much time over in this corner of the map. Now, I do need to hurry up. I have been slacking pretty hard on, building up my base and getting my defenses going and stuff like that. I've got a pretty minuscule base, and if one of the bigger tribes from this server decides that they don't want me living here, that my base isn't going to stand up very well. We're not going to get very much content out of trying to defend that right now. So we do need to spend a little time. But like I said, we'll do that in the evenings after I get off. After I get off stream and stuff. We did do quite a bit of gathering and stuff yesterday. So we're going to do this scout today. We're going to find ourselves a base or two. we're going to finish raising up. Hey, there's another trike saddle. Nice, because I lost that last one. I'm pretty sure. Nope. Well, that sucks. I thought that it was going to give me time to go ahead and craft my stuff, but it did not. But hey, I got a nice little trike saddle. So we're not quite done raising our trikes yet, and we're not quite done um, leveling them. So once they get raised, we'll throw them in a cryopod. We'll stick them in a cryo fridge. We'll let them level up until tomorrow. Hey, there's one coming down right next to my base there. So we'll just go get the resources for this again. And then go make this cryo fridge, no problem. Anyway, so yeah, what we'll do is we'll find ourselves some bases, and then we'll come back and we'll probably tame some creatures later on this evening. I wanna find some bases. I wanna get a couple of eggs, wyvern eggs, and then I want to come back here and I want to go on a taming spree, probably on pteranodons, because I have a really good pteranodon stamina. But I don't have really good pteranodon anything else stats. Well, that's not true. I think I also have really good pteranodon melee. 380%, I believe. But yeah, I'd like to try and get some really good pteranodon stats and get them all bred together. So yeah, once we get this done, and we find some bases, I'll mark them down. This, we'll bring all this, okay. Ace Echo 3325 has joined the ARK. I'm actually going to take that because I always love having more of those around. And then we're going to those another one of these. Nice. So we're just going to go scout one Scorched Earth server because honestly, scouting a server takes quite a while. You know, you want to go everywhere. And we're going to pick up drops. It should take us a couple hours probably. We'll pick up a couple rounds of all the red drops or the desert drops out there, which is also going to increase the amount of time it takes because those things are kind of way out in the middle of nowhere. So we'll pick up our red drops, we'll scout part of the server, pick up some more red drops, we'll scout part of the server, on and on and on, until we finish the whole thing, and then we'll write down where some of the bases are, and then tomorrow We'll go raid some. Okay. I have my everything. Need my generator. Need a cryopod. So what we're going to look for is we're going to look for a high population scorched earth. Because there are two reasons that there might be a higher population in a map. Number one, it just got wiped. And so there are people actively building on the server trying to rebuild it. And during those times, you're going to naturally start getting a lot more new, like casual and stuff people trying to get a base started. And so there will be some smaller bases that haven't been rated out by whatever the new alpha tribe is going to be, because they're busy building up their base and stuff. Oh, this is perfect. Nice. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Travel to another server here. Let's do a little scorched earth action. All right. Let's look at, see, EU PvP small tribes scorched earth. 22 people online right now. That's probably a little too much for me. That's also probably a whole lot of raiding going on. I'm looking for something maybe more like this. Right, we've got really good ping here, 153. That's really good for ARK, especially because it's an EU and I live in NA. I think I want to go in either this one or this one, but I've got even better ping here. So let's go ahead and go here. To me, this better ping with a larger number of players means that there must be like less spam or less garbage going on the server. Hopefully. Or maybe it's just that the pings fluctuate a whole lot, and when it took the snapshot, this just happened to be here. But my brain thinks that this means maybe there's less spam, which means smaller bases, which means probably something just got wiped. So, yeah, let's join this server. Oh, I didn't bring gas. I'm a stupid mother. Oh, that's so awful. Um, okay, that's fine. Instead of picking a spot to spawn, we're just uploaded right now. So we'll go back to our center server. I'm pretty sure this is our center server. I have it written down, but I don't have my... Yeah, this is it. Cool. Get respawned here. And let's get some gas. Just need a couple. Actually, we just need one. That gives us an hour-ish. We only need 2 minutes. Alright. Pull that bad boy out. Fly away. We're gonna have to wait a while now, which is unfortunate. Pretty sure this one won't allow me to. Pretty sure there's a turret over by this one. Maybe not. Let's go see. I think this one disappeared as well. Oh, there it is. Yeah, no, I don't think there's a turret by this one. Never mind. It's further off down over there. Let's go see what we got over here. Should have about 13 minutes. Ooh, 10 minutes. Nice. Okay. Oh, there's one that's coming down. This one that's coming down isn't quite going to give us long. At the 10-minute mark, this one will probably disappear. It takes about 10 minutes from the time that they start coming down until they disappear. So this one's coming down just a little too early, but that's okay. This one over here will disappear soon. And when this one comes down, we'll just disappear it. So that way there's more needing to spawn. And hopefully another one right around us will spawn, and that'll be the one that we use. They get transferred off. I don't have any tech stuff or anything. Because I haven't gone and gotten any element or anything like that. I probably need to go ahead and do some of that. If we can't find some aggressive creatures to kill here. Maybe get a couple of levels for my Pteranodon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 1, 8, 7, 3, 9, 9, 1. What is that? Oh no, that Pego stole my generator. Okay, Pego-mastic's bad. Very large number of... Oh, okay. Oh. What's going on, Knight? How are you today? Why am I baking? I'm doing good. We're gonna go scout ourselves a Scorched Earth server and see about maybe picking up some wyvern eggs. My base is still alive after 3 or 4 days, which honestly I'm surprised about. because I have not done a very good job of putting up defenses. My defenses are pretty weak sauce, in fact. So yeah, everything's going really well right now. I'm enjoying getting back to playing the game like the noob that I am. It was so stressful trying to play this game at a really high tier all by myself because I just am not capable of that. It's too much. Much too much. You know what I need to do? Is I need to tame some ARK Shellons. Archelon. I assume the Archelons are aquatic, right? They don't have to stay in the water. Not aquatic. Um, Amphibious. Of course, they're aquatic. Goodness gracious, Hermit. There we go. This is going to be my drop right here. I've started to become more comfortable again with running around and moving servers and stuff like that, which is good. Um, it used to be really, really easy on ASE, even though you had the freaking 15-minute timer. The fact that you could throw cryopods out from anywhere was a pretty huge deal. And I know we talk about it every time I start transferring servers, but it really is important that they do something to assist. Wow, I'm leaving with just busted gear. That's dumb. But it really would be important for them to do something to assist people moving from server to server. I mean, something as simple as just making these drops count as cryo fridges for everybody be good enough. And then I could just run over to a drop. It would still make some servers like Scorched Earth a little more difficult. But, uh, and freaking Aberration would be impossible. I mean, I guess if you knew where the charge stations are, you could also, set up the charge stations to do that. And then you just have to know where those are. But goodness, Aberration would be a pain still. But you gotta do something, because all these cryo fridges all over the place are stupid. Or even maybe make a timer, like 5 minutes after you upload onto a new server or download onto a new server, you can just throw creatures out for 5 minutes. Like, that'd be fine. So I kind of like that solution. All right, we got 2 more minutes here till we can just mosey. There's a choo-choo train. Thirty more seconds. Oh, 15 more seconds, so we can finally transfer. Travel. All right. Let's see what we got here. It's probably this one. Is the one I was thinking about before. Still got good ping. This one's got standing ping though. Let's go here. What about the stream sniper? I mean, there's no way to avoid. They used the day that I was on the other day because as the time goes on, the days on the server don't stay the same. And so, as long as they know what map I'm on and they know what day the server is, then they can figure out what server I'm on. And they can see what day the server is just by me dying because it says in the map screen or in the death screen what day your server's on. And I hit H, so I do this when I'm. We're doing good, lagged out. We're going to scout this Scorched Earth server and see if maybe there's some raids that we can do tomorrow. Maybe get some wyvern eggs. How are you today? Goodness, I'm already losing a lot of HP. I should have brought Gilly. Rage is what I like to hear. Good, good. Glad to hear you're doing well. Let's go. We're also going to get some drops, and person made a path all the way down to the water. Who that is? Tribe of Humans 7. Okay, well that's all very interesting. Anyway, let's go get these red drops real quick in the desert. Let's get ourselves a little hide also. Because with this extreme heat wave going on, we are going to have to make some sleeping bags and die from time to time. Yellow drop here. Is it a yellow ring drop or just a yellow drop? Just a yellow drop. I'm not going to worry about that. This is where I used to base out here. So let's head out this way. We're going to go see if anybody's at church. Then we're going to go see about the desert drops. Then we'll just fly around and get the desert drops. Then we'll just check some of the base locations. And kind of just cruise around. People put bases on Scorched Earth on some interesting spots. Kind of gonna explore the entire server. I actually need to go ahead and make myself a structure so that I can use that method. And I really need this heat wave to stop. Definitely should have brought different armor with me. Let's go ahead. Let's get structure real quick. Just want like a thatch. A little wood. Thatch. That. Goodness, I hate this game sometimes. It's fine. I'm just gonna drop a sleeping bag real quick and die. Bleh. These extreme heat waves don't usually last too much longer than... Yeah, it just ended. Perfect. Need a little more thatch here. Perfect. That. dump these. Whoops, I should have kept the file. Oh well. Dump these things that I don't need. Oh. Looks like there might be somebody in here. Let's be a little careful. I know that some of my turrets shot people who landed on top of here before. Let's see what's going on. It looks like I can get inside of here no problem. So I can check out even further in. Looks like this was recently raided. It was either recently raided or somebody's just got it spammed because they don't want anybody building here. Let's take this. This bad boy down here. Can pick it up, so we should be good. I'm just gonna run on down here naked. Oh, I found him. Guess I should have looked one more time, huh? I hope they don't come out of there in the next 50 seconds and... Now, the fact that they don't have any turrets or anything way up top makes me think that this could potentially be raidable for me. I imagine that they're not super well established yet, and I could build something at that entrance to lock them in. Right? I can build a fob up inside the actual church and lock them in there and raid it out. But let's take my photo mode here. Let's go see. Oh yeah, that's just one tech turret. So I'm interested in maybe coming back and maybe trying to take that out. Hang on, I need to make myself a tribe. The only thing that I think though is I don't actually think there's somebody built down there. I think that that's just the alphas of this server putting spam and a little bit of turrets so that they know if somebody goes in there looking to build there. Yo, flamethrower BP, what's up? Yeah, that's actually pretty hot. I can be a flamethrower Bob now. But that's pretty interesting. I like that. Um, Definitely gonna go. Is that a person? The way the Fastilosuchus was moving and the ridges on its back made me think there was a person riding it. Um, so something else. I like all of these little structures and all of these little cities. Um, I know in PvP they don't typically get built in, but I kind of feel like they might be good for building. Something else I need to do is get some more hide, fiber, fiber. What does it take to make a tent? We are going to probably need one of those, even if I'm just going to die most of the time to come back. A little silk. Oh, okay. Silk. How annoying. All right. Fantastic. Considering how much stuff has been built on this server, I'm actually a little afraid that this server is going to be just like that other one that we went to before. And the Wyvern Trench is going to be all built out. Well, we're not actually near any base locations right now. I guess I could be searching these mountains and stuff on my way to the next drop, but I kind of like to keep the drops on a similar timer. Uh, Cliff Plaid. Hey, sorry, missed that chat for a second. No, I'm good. I'm trying really hard to just do everything on my own. I had somebody a viewer, who had been giving me stuff for a while, and um, it just put me in a position where I didn't really know, like, I couldn't keep up with what they were giving me because I'm just by myself. And so it started making things really hard, and I was ending up just farming all the time. So yeah, we're just gonna play it a little slow. I have most of the bosses, Cliff. I haven't done the Alpha Ascension, but I do have Alpha Brood Monkey and Dragon done. So I'm not any higher than level 105 right now, but I do have most of the Ingrams. Is making life pretty good. I appreciate the offer, but I just kind of running around doing things here. Because I'm just by myself and because I'm not terribly good at this game, I'm never just going to be playing at a really high tier of play. Because I get beat down too much. Oh, you got dev wiped. Oh no. What were you doing? Went on the wrong server. Pocket devs. Gross. Hey, thanks for the follow, Cliff Platt. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Right. Let's see what this drop's gonna give me. Ooh. Yeah, buddy. Chest piece. What's up? It's not a great journeyman chest piece. That's a pretty decent journeyman chest piece. For me. Now let's go see about some dragons. Here there be dragons. Ooh, and a journeyman thyla saddle. Man, we've picked up some good stuff already out of those 2 drops. I didn't check to see if the drop respawned right away. I'll have to go back and do that. Let's see what's going on here. I don't see any turrets like I have in the past blocking these. Let's go check some nests here, see if we can't find a good egg or two. I'd really like a good poison. Whoops. Did not realize that I was close enough to get that thing mad at me. This might be the end of it right here. Is this an alpha? Because it seems to be much faster. That's unfortunate. Let's place that down. Whoopsie. It's really not a big deal, Cliff Platt. This isn't my base server. I can just go home and go get another PT. Well, sort of. I really appreciate the thought, but I really am interested in doing this without assistance. Okay, well that was a short-lived excursion. Here, nothing. Okay. Ruh-roh. We ran out of stamina. Ruh-roh. Gotta run so fast. Alright, so the hope is that I'll be able to just transfer straight off of this server for this thing over here. Honestly, even though we lost the PT, I think losing the PT is totally worth getting that chest BP and that flamethrower BP. Like, 100% worth. Are in a little bit of a vulnerable position, though. I think most, if not all, of our flag got destroyed. Well, only a couple of pieces. But we are gonna maybe run into a problem. 6 more minutes here. Okay. So let's try and do it this way. Let's see if maybe this red drop out here respawned. If it did, it'll stay out here permanently, so I can wait my 6 minutes and then just go home. Gotta find us another water butt bug. There aren't a ton of creatures out in the dunes. Most of what you have to worry about is a sandworm. Doesn't look like the drop respawn. Okay. We're about to find ourselves in a pretty rough position here. Let's gain back some stam and let's switch to my arrows. Bug butt water. Probably want to get back across the trench because there should be a couple of drops that spawn. We are in a bad spot. Six minutes on our timer. Likely gonna die before then. This drop over here just despawned. Maybe we'll hang out over near where this drop was at and see if maybe another drop will spawn in the same place or in the same general area. I think there's a pretty good chance of that. If we hang out, maybe up on top of some of these rocks or something, maybe we'll have a good chance of not getting murked. Nice. I think we'll be pretty safe up here. In a couple of minutes, we'll go ahead and drop another bed. Ooh, there we go. That one I think I can get to. Okay. So while that's coming down, because I don't want to reset my timer here, and because we're kind of half dead, let's go ahead and put that down. Let's murk ourselves. We'll pick up all our stuff. We should still be on that same 6-minute timer. Then we'll go get to that other drop. And we should be right about time to be teleporting off. To be good to go. Can't believe I just got my Pteranodon killed. I'm actually pretty sad about that. I like that Pteranodon. We had literally just raised it, too. My poor baby. My poor baby boy. We're gonna get there. Hey, jump. Oh, that's a fast Losicus. Oh, that's bad. Please, please let me out. Please, please let me out. Why am I trapped in this little hole? Ooh-wee. That was a mighty close one. I did not see that coming. We're probably gonna have to leave our crossbow and our grapples because they probably got timer boost there. But I'm okay with that to get the rest of this stuff out of here. Gotta leave that, gotta leave that. Hey, that could have gone way worse. That could have gone way worse. But we made it back. Unfortunately, this means that we have to go tame a bunch of Tyrann. Let's get some of these out. Let's get a better crossbow out. Get our tranks out. Put all that stuff away. Let's check out, what do I need to make an industrial? Much more polymer, a little more cementing paste. The fact that we have enough metal, though, is pretty awesome. So later today, I am for sure going to be making me an indie forge. All right. Well, let's go tame some pteranodons then. It's a bummer to have lost all my pteranodons, but or to have lost my pteranodon, not all my pteranodons. But we'll get some tamed. We'll get a decent little line of supers going. Get some good stamina, get some good everything. Good weight, good melee, good health. Try and get it all bred together over the course of the next few days. And then we'll have ourselves some good pteranodons. Hey, there's a 135. Got another 135. Gosh, I love taming on the center. Why do I ever play any other freaking... Every freaking dino is a high level. Hmm. You know, I don't want to maybe end up like running into that turret tower on that tree there. We're just not even gonna think about it. There's plenty of pteranodons on this map. Ain't no reason trying to get those. Did that terror bird just kill a dire bear? Crap. Level 15. Level 50. Just sing this map's praises about how high levels everything is. And then instantly it's like, here's the lowest level creatures you've ever seen in your life. Wow, game. Just wow. Another level 15. You're adorable. Adorable. We level 15. That's 3 15s. Okay. What in the ever-loving crap is going on here? Nobody cares about your best viewers. Go away. Go away, game. Your person, go away. I don't know how this is happening to me. Ooh. It's a 145 Dimorphodon. I'll know how I love Dimorphodons. I just love, love, love them. But we're on a mission. We're here for Pteranodons. We're going to tame all the Pteranodons. So there's lots of Pteranodons over here, but I actually don't think I want to tame them over here specifically. Right here. This hasn't been here before. Who that is? Okie lovers. Okay, I have to go do my photo mode through their window here. What are we doing here, y'all? What a bunch of silly geese. Yeah, but there's lots of dangerous creatures over here as well, even though there's lots of pteranodons. So, on this island up here, there's also lots of pteranodons, but there aren't really any dangerous creatures up there. That's a clip. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go raid that thatch base that's totally empty and has absolutely nothing in it. Caught me. You caught me. I'm such a scrub that I gotta raid thatch bases with no defenses. Dude, I really want to live inside of one of these. I don't think I would ever enjoy that night. Goodness gracious, I want to live inside one of these. You could have a tech gen inside of there and it would circle the entire thing. You could just put turrets all over it. Oh, could you imagine if there was like a water entrance? Yeah, there's a couple of them at Floating Island, but I want one of these ones out in the middle of nowhere. I really wish um, that this one wasn't a Pelagornis hole here. Were you here yesterday night when we found this one? Let's show you here. If you come down here, you can't actually get through here with your body, which is really too bad. It's really close. You can almost get in here. It's almost a crouch. But then you would just have to fall down in here. And then there's a whole huge, goes way, way down. There's actually a bigger area down there we ghosted in on single player. But if you could get inside of here, this would be like the ultimate base location. I'm pretty sure you can Pelagornis into it, maybe. Or chair into it, maybe. But that'll just get you dev wiped. Because you're not supposed to build in places like that. I also, while I was flying around after stream yesterday, I found like the most insane mesh hole that takes you all the way out to the outside of the map on the border. It was pretty crazy. But even like this one would be good enough, you know? Let me inside the top of this one. Gonna go tame all the pteranodons. Right. Level 20, you suck. 25, you also suck. 55, 50. Why does this game hate me? I don't understand. Let's go check this island too. There's some turrets over there. I got murked a few days ago flying around. Didn't see the turrets. Bye bye, Pteranodon. Oop, 145. Nice. No. What did you take? Little twerp. Night night. Perfection. And we'll just find ourselves a creature with a baby and get a little prime meat. There go mastics. It'll only take, I don't know, 10 prime meat, I think. How are you, bub? Baby. Ooh, Alpha Raptor. Nice. Ooh, high level Alpha Raptor. Might get a good crossbow here. Gonna take a little while. We definitely want to go ahead and kill this elf. Hmm. Back RG. Silly ass Alpha Raptor. It's gonna take a really long time to kill this Alpha Raptor. Holy crap. I might actually have to re-stam. I'm having to click the button too much to attack on my mouse. It's making my arm tired. Come on. Come on. At least it's super bloody. We're getting there. Just die, Raptor. Just die. Okay, this is an absolutely silly way to go about killing raptors. I bet it had to be such a high level. It is like insanely bloody now, though. There's no way this keeps going on for very much longer. However, I am out of stam now, and it is doing significantly more damage to me. Now that I'm down on the same level as it, I might need to stop attacking for a minute, get a little more stam, and then fly somewhere where it can't kill me. But we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to let it attack me for a sec. Get a little stamina back. Fly up here. Force feed some meats and finish this bad boy off in a second. Silly ass alpha raptors. Alright, come back over here, bud. How are you not dead? Look at how bloody you are. Oh my god, just die. Whew. We got him. Wow, it didn't give us anything. No picks, no crossbows. Nothing. Big ol' middle finger. And 6 levels. I guess 6 levels is fine. Alright, that ought to be fine. Don't think it's gonna need any narco berries. We're gonna watch it a little bit. Because you never know, but I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're fine. We went from 45 to 60%, so it should only take 3 more eats. Yeah, we're good. I guess I got these 18 narco berries, so might as well just go ahead. I think I accidentally fed it. Nope. Didn't press the button too many times. Okay. Cool beans. Let's see if we can find ourselves another pteranodon. 90. Um, let's go over to this other island over here. See if we can't find some pteranodons over here. Oop, there's one over kind of by those turrets. Level 15, good. Don't feel like going over there and dealing with that. Like to get, I don't know, 3 or 4 high level pteranodons here real quick. We get 3 or 4 high level ones, then maybe we'll get some decent stats out of them. The 135. I guess we can go ahead and tame that. Where'd it go? This is the lower level one, right? Nope, there it is. Weird. Alright, so come up from behind it. Pop it in its crown, and then as it tries to fly away, we shoot it one more time and it goes to sleep. Perfect execution. Every single time. I am the king of taming ridiculously easy to tame creatures. I check to see if this parasaur's got babies. It does not. There's a 150 parasaur, though. What is this fish doing? What are you doing, little guy? It's a flying fish. It only learned how to fly after it died, though. Really sad day for all fish kind. And y'all get some babies? Oh, no babies, huh? Fine. Gosh. I just want to kill your babies and feed their corpses to a pteranodon. Is that really so bad? Does it say Mr. Boss? Mr. Boss Inc. Nice. I like the confidence that that person has. So confident in themselves, they name themselves Mr. Boss Inc. Oh, shoot. Bot Carlos just joined the server. He's about to find out that I raided him. The Stro Babies. Oh, baby Dodo. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we need one more for an MB. That'll be enough. Oh, baby dinosaurs. I just need one more baby dinosaur. Please. Please let me have one more baby dinosaur. I'm gonna turn chat on for a moment. I want to see if Bot Carlos says anything when he realizes that I raided him. There's always the possibility that he like knows where my base is and then puts me out there to the server. In which case, some people might come and try and raid me. Why am I having such a hard time finding one more baby animal? Taming some pteranodons lagged out. I just got my pteranodon killed on that Scorched Earth server. But it was totally worth it because the pteranodon died, but I got a chest flak piece, so. Yeah, I went down into the wyvern trench and tried to tame me a wyvern. Yeah, yeah, I got a chest BP. Journeyman, it's only 371. You know, it's better than the primitive that I'm currently wearing. Oop, there's a baby compy in there. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, I mean, it's better than. It's worth more than a pteranodon to me. Let's just say that. Alright, got my one more prime meat. So I just need to tame some replacements. I was going to go ahead and just breed up replacements. I figured I wasn't going to lose more than about one a day. But it seems like I may have been wrong about that. Especially if we're going to be traveling to other servers and stuff like that, scouting. I'm just going to inevitably lose some more pteranodons. So I'm going to go ahead and tame some males right now. If they don't have better stats than the male that I already have, at least in some categories, then I'll go ahead and use them. And if they do have a better stat, then later on when I'm on my own, I'll go breed some female or tame some females and try and do some breeding and see if I can't get some stats combined and stuff. But for now, I'm just looking for some throwaways that I can use for right now. I got one already tamed over there. I got one that I'm about to tame over here. There's a 145 back behind me here. So we'll go tame that one, and that'll probably be enough. I think 3 pteranodons is probably sufficient. Kill that other alpha raptor, and then we'll go back to doing some more scouting. Probably back to that same server. I should have probably taken better note of where I put my cryo fridge, because then I could just go back and use the same cryo out that server. There it is. Get all these 7 prime meats out of here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Go cryo up this pteranodon. Check its stats out. See what I got. I have 456 stam, 1700 and something health, only like 200 and something weight, 201 or something like that, and 380% melee is what my current pteranodon is. I'd like to see a better health, something closer to 2k base. I would like to see some better weight. Hey, what's up, Wyatt? Welcome, welcome. You know, I was late this morning too, so I understand. I appreciate you coming and stopping by and saying what's up, even though you don't have a lot of time. Makes me feel all special and shit. Alright, so that's lower, lower, barely higher, lower. This is definitely just going to get used up. Um, actually, go ahead and just name it. So I know that it doesn't matter. And then let's go knock out this other 145 over here. That's right next to this Alpha Raptor. We will kill this Alpha Raptor for some more Prime. And feed it, and it'll tame, and it'll be great. And I'll be so happy. We'll have 3 new Pteranodons to go get killed. Amen, Pteranodons. I got 4 wins, 2 losses. The chest turn. Oh, nice. Congratulations. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Was it just an open tournament where, no matter what your rating was, you just played in like a round robin kind of a thing? Or was it based on your rating and you got grouped into categories so that you only played against other people that were similar to your rating? All right, I just need to find that Alpha Raptor. There it is. So the 145 Pteranodon should just be right back here. And I went against my grade, so 5. Okay. Cool, cool. I don't know what grade 5 means. I assume it's a range of ratings, one certain level to another. I don't really know much about the rating system of this. Where's this stupid 145 Pteranodon at? Oh, you're a 5th grader. I was not aware of that. Got it. That's funny. I assumed you were like in college or something. It doesn't occur to me that children would watch my stream. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I assumed you were an adult. I assume everybody in the chat is an adult. Hey, this Alpha Raptor is going to be much easier to kill. Were y'all playing speed chess, or were you playing without timers? I have never once in my life played a game of chess with a timer. Die, Raptor. Die. 25-minute game. Okay. Cool, cool. That's awesome. Hey, I got a crossbow from this one. And more than enough prime meat. The tame. Where'd my Pteranodon go? Oh, there it is. Wait, that was scary. In school, did you do games or sports? So I played a little soccer when I was a kid, but I never played for any of my schools. Um, I always just played in like local leagues and stuff like that. My dad was usually my coach. But yeah, when I was a kid, I used to play baseball, basketball, soccer. I did a lot of acting. And by the time I got to junior high or high school, I'd kind of quit playing sports. And I was pretty into acting instead and computers. So I spent all of my time, playing computer games, learning about computers, putting computers together, and acting in place. Going to camp in the summer, stuff like that. My older brother played golf. All through high school, he played golf for our high school golf team. And he's actually very good at golf. I think he's like a 2 handicap. He's not like pro level, but he's pretty good. I played a little bit of golf when I was a kid, and I like golf. It's relaxing, but it's too long for me. It takes too much time to get around in. Okay. Please, please stop. Stupid ass Ichthy. I think golf's a good sport, though. Alright, you also suck. So you are also going to be named FFA. So that I know that I can just waste you. There you go. Sorry I wasn't here for long. Hey, it was good to talk to you, and congratulations again on your tournament. It was really impressive. Hope you have a good day. I will see you next time. Whoops. Bye bye. It's time to get this Pteranodon. So this Pteranodon will finish up. That'll be 3 new Pteranodons. That'll be nice. We'll stick them in our cryo fridge so they start to level up. Get one of them saddled. And then I guess we're going to have to make a new cryo fridge. And a new generator, because I actually don't know the server number of the server that we were just on. So we'll just go to a different server and scout. Although I do like the server that we were just on, because it wasn't like super messed with. All the drops didn't seem to have cryo fridges under them and BS like that. So it honestly would have been pretty easy to get back off of that server. So I kind of want to go back. But whatever. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. We're just gonna hang out and wait for this to get done here. While we're waiting, maybe we'll check the ARK Discord, see if anything's come out today about anything going on. Doesn't look like it. What day is today? Today's Tuesday. Okay. Nice. Go check the ARK Reddit. Okay, well, there's nothing really going on in the ARK subreddit either. So I guess we just wait. Hmm. Gonna be a pretty long trip back to the base. Want to keep that. We're gonna want to keep that. The upper raptor claws. All the rest of that stuff can go. Could just be 3 more eats for this pteranodon. Let's check its pre-tame stats here real quick. See what we're maybe working with. Oh, that is awful. Awful on the health, but that's a really good pre-tame stam. A pretty decent weight. We might end up with some good stam and some good weight. Or one or the other. On this pteranodon. I'd prefer really good weight. I already have 450 something stam, I think. So that's not really something I need to add to my line. I'm super tired all of a sudden. What's going on here? I need to drink more water. Boyo. Oh, there's a Dilophosaur heading this way. What did this Dilophosaur kill that it dropped a bag? That's interesting. Oh, it killed this player that was here. Got it. Good old level 1 Kenny P. Ain't here, he dead. That's honestly kind of hilarious. One more eat, and we're good. I really love taming creatures in this game. Very relaxing to me. I really just generally love playing ARK. There's when you're playing at a smaller level in ARK, I find it very enjoyable because I feel like there's a little bit of a sense of adventure involved. You know, things like wyverns and managarmers and stuff like that that cause you to get where you're going extremely quickly, I think take away from some of the adventure of ARK. You know, even Pteranodons and Argentavises are pretty overwhelming in their power, just because they're so safe, because they can fly, that, you know, the adventure of it is a little bit diminished by having them. But, I mean, these maps are so huge, and they're so much fun to move around on, and they're so much fun to walk around on. You know, just jumping around on a frog or running through a map um, on a raptor or something like that is such a different experience. What is up with your neck, dude? Holy cow. That was gross. 216, only 1200. Oh my gosh. You got hosed on the points. Wow, you suck, dude. I mean, 216 weight's pretty good. I might try and breed that into my line because it's, you know, an extra 15 points in weight, and I think it's actually pretty high. But everything else was just booty cheeks on that great 1200 HP. Wow. All right, let's get ourselves flown back home here real quick. Get ourselves a saddle made. Um, yeah, and then we'll go see about doing some more scouting on a server. And I really want to get some wyvern eggs. Really like to hatch out some wives. And, you know, maybe go get some milk tomorrow or something. Be cool to have a good wyvern. Um, you know, you don't need a super good bred wyvern to have a good wyvern because they're automatically going to be imprinted to you. So your very first, your wild wyvern is an imprint, which is awesome. Between wyverns and coming up, we're getting griffins, and I am so excited for some griffin action. Just so excited. Really good flying mount, has a really good swoop, has an incredible attack. The swoop attack with the griffin is so insanely strong. Because it's a damage multiplier based on speed. And so I'm interested in some of the trait potential for griffins. Now, actually, you're not going to be able to do traits on griffins, are you? Man, that's going to make that real rough. But I am still interested in the trait potential on griffins, because if you get one that has one of those traits that gives you increased movement speed, I assume that that will work on the swoop. If it does, then that will mean being able to increase your damage multiplier, because the speed that you're going at is what determines how much damage you do on the griffin with its swipe attack, which is cray cray. So, I mean, if you can increase your potential speed by, say, 5%, then you can increase your damage output by 5%. which I don't know how it gets multiplied. So I don't know if that's a dude. Keep our eyes out over there. They looked like they were naked, and so they probably just have that PT. It looked like a tamed PT, so I'm not terribly worried. But it's possible that maybe they have like a wyvern or something at their base, and so they just took off away from me on the PT to go get, a better, stronger creature to try and PvP me with. So we just need to keep our eyes out behind us here, make sure that we don't get snuck up on by something big and bad. Gosh, I can't wait for Ragnarok to come out. I'm honestly kind of giddy for Ragnarok to come out. We need to start thinking of a plan. We need to, I think, a dragon, right? A wyvern and a Quetzal are insanely important to get super early because the Quetzals tend to be um, in the snow area, or at least they tend to fly towards the snow area. We're gonna need to make or get some fur gear. So, a couple of things that I really want to get. We need to get a gene scanner, right? Because gene scanner is going to make taming griffins and Quetzals and stuff way, way easier. So when Ragnarok comes out, one of the first things we're going to need to do is go ahead and get us a one of the things we're going to want to do is to go ahead and get us a frog. I am obsessed with the Beelzebufo, but I definitely want one. And honestly, before then, we need to get the ascensions done and get leveled. I honestly might need to stop trying so hard to build a base and have like a legitimate series and spend the next month or so getting the ascensions done and then just like grinding stone in mass. Maybe crafting somebody a bunch of bullets or something like that in their, go join a tribe, go join Twisty's tribe, or go join somebody's tribe, and just craft them a shit ton of bullets all day, every day to pass levels or something. And then get them to help me out with the ascensions. I don't know. We'll see. But it would be nice to be, like level 140 or something like that. Going into Ragnarok instead of level 105. No. For KYRG. Oh, that scared the crap out of me. That noise was so terrifying. Don't ask me why. So we'll go back up here, we'll get everything we need. Make another cryo fridge, we'll get a generator. We're going to bring only exactly what we need. Make the cryo fridge. That way we don't have to come back up. No, we won't. I don't know. We'll see what the timers say. We'll see. I wonder how high I can go here. Oh, wow. I didn't realize you could quite get this high. This is quite a ways above my base. We need to consider getting a cliff plat up here. I want to put a tree plat on this tree right below me. And then I want to put a cliff plat up above my base as well. I'm gonna give you the cooked meats there, bud. Alright. Put away. That one is insanely bad. We're gonna use this one. Put away these things, put away this stuff. This is. And we need arrows. We will put away the good crossbow though. We'll take one of the lesser crossbows. Not have any grapples? I could have sworn I had grapples. What did I do? Did I use my grapples? Oop. Make some grapples. Okay. That should be everything. Let's go try this dance again. I really am starting to enjoy this base location. Obviously, it needs more defenses and stuff to truly be secure. I feel pretty comfortable up here. Not as comfortable as I felt in my pipe. Feel pretty comfortable. A nice little spot. We'll get this crafted. We'll go back up to the base. We'll craft ourselves a saddle, which I should have already done. Whatever. We'll get ourselves a saddle. We'll get ourselves a generator, stealing gasoline. Then we'll go see about the base for another scout. Maybe this time we can avoid dying literally in the first 20 minutes. Ooh. Apprentice Stego Saddle BP. That means we need Tame some stegos. That is freaking exciting. So let's take them scissors too. I am excited. Honestly, I'm so excited I kind of want to go put that in my hidden stash spot. But I don't want to put you all on a black screen again. And I don't think it's that important. If it was like a mastercraft that was cappable, or a journeyman that was cappable, might go ahead and take and hide it. Of course, we also have the flak chest BP. Might actually be worth it to hide. Especially since we're about to go off server. Yeah, we probably should do it. Gotta hide the good stuff. Get our generator crafted real quick. Get our battle crafted real quick. Yeah, let's get all these out of here. Get to take these with us, that's fine. We'll bring our generator, we'll get ourselves gas. Two. Is that everything I need? I've got my full kit. I've got my Jenny, my Pteranodon, and my saddle, which I'll put together when I get there. Put away these electronics. Okay. Sorry, y'all. You're gonna have to go on a black screen for a few minutes here, so that I can go over to my hidden loot spot. And drop off all my loots. It's a huge pain in the butt to have to fly so far away. I mean, any distance at all suck. But the further I put my hidden loot spot from my base, the longer it takes me to get there, which means the larger radius somebody would have to search if they wanted to try and figure out exactly where it is. Birds flying high. You know how I feel. Birds in the sky. You know how I feel. All right, sorry about that, y'all. I think we're back close enough, though. Let y'all see again. We're all good. Ew. All right, now we're just waiting for a drop to spawn nearby. And I'm actually gonna wait, and I'm not gonna use my RG to get down to the drop, or even my Pteranodon to get down to the drop, because I don't want to waste my timer. So I've got everything that I'm gonna need inside of my inventory right now. So I'm just gonna shoot down to a drop when it spawns. Thought that coming over up here would be better, but it's just not really. Can't see crap from over here. Silly ass waterfalls. Okay, well, I'm having a hard time seeing them because of the waterfalls. The waterfalls kind of cover up the two spots where I'm looking to see if one spawns. So we'll take the RG out and watch. When a drop spawns, we'll just yeet ourselves off our cliff here. The parachute. And see if we can't get down to a drop that way. Mostly because it'll be hella fun to do it that way. Oh, there's a drop. It's probably going to disappear though. I'd really like for this one to spawn. I think I can parachute all the way over to there from my base, but I'm not 100%. Or one of the ones that spawns like right on the beach would be nice. I am going to be fairly happy when we um, get a transmitter in here. I need to put some effort into going and harvesting some element on an extinction server. Okay, we can get a new drop spawning anytime. I can't believe how long that drop is staying active. It must have just finished coming down when I came over here. Look. Now it's gone. Another one. Oh. 15 minutes for a minor version update. You will not need to restart your client. Okay, well, that sucks, but usually it doesn't take 30 minutes. That means there's not really anything we can do for the next 15 minutes, right? I don't want to transfer to another server while we're waiting. So that's duty. Oh, let's check on everything here. Archie's doing good. This dude's doing great. Right over here is doing great. Okay, everything is fine. don't think I can go get Polly. You know what I could do? I don't have my... Let's go get Crystal with a pickaxe then. Sounds like a good idea. We only need, what, 250? We have everything else that we need. We're going to need a little more cementing paste. Crystal and Polly. Okay, well, let's go get some crystal and maybe... Let's see if my Megatherium is still alive. I think it is. Yeah, it looks like it. Let's take the Megatherium over here real quick. Let's go in and get some chitin. Use that chitin to make the extra CP. While we're in there, we'll go ahead and harvest up some crystal. And then the server will go down and we'll wait for it to come back up. And then we'll be okay. And then the last thing we'll need is some more poly, which will be easy enough for me to get later. And then by tomorrow, we'll have a freaking indie forge up in this biatch. Which will be awesome. I just leave my Megatherium over here, like, in a corner. Come a chameleon. There's a rock. There's not a ton of chitin down in here. I get. It's a decent amount. It's not like insane. A little surprised there weren't. Is nothing respawning in here? This cave broken. I think this cave might be broken. I think I might have just gotten all of the chitin I'm gonna get. That'd be sad. There is crystal back here though, so let's get our 250 crystal that we need. Still a little bit more of the area that we can check to see if we can't get some more chitin. There don't appear to ever really be creatures way back in the back of this here. Although that might just be because it's broken. Almost there. By that other group of metal over there, should probably be some more. But I want to take the Megatherium with me over that way, just in case. Never know. Happen. Be terrible if a Megalania fell down on me from the sky and I didn't have my Megatherium anywhere nearby. Go ahead and get rid of that. We need 5 more crystals. Got all of our crystal. Five more minutes to check for a little bit of chitin in here. Make a couple hundred more cementing paste. There's nothing down here for chitin, which it doesn't look like there is. It looks like the spawns in here are bricked. Just like the spawns in Desert Cave were on our extinction map, which is a little strange. I wonder why that's been happening to some of the caves. It looks like some of the creatures, like the onyx and stuff, come back. But there were like spiders and scorpions and all kinds of stuff over here yesterday when I came in. It doesn't look like that's the case anymore. So let's get back to our bird. Oh, there's a dung beetle. I have some other ways where I'm fairly certain I can go ahead and get some cementing paste. There's some beavers directly below here in the river. So I can get a little CP there. And that should be enough. I'm pretty unhappy about the fact that all the spawns in here are bricked, though. It's gonna make getting Megalania toxin or venom or whatever harder. I need to tame those Megalanias, probably, so that I can have them for tributes, if you need Megalanias even. I don't even know. I assume you probably do, though. Find out. Yep, definitely need Megalania toxin. Okay, well, something we're gonna have to look into then. Get out of my way, tree. The way Megatheriums run when they're turning, the animation is so good. It's got that weird, like almost half sideways thing going on. It's just like big dogs. I don't know if you've ever owned a big dog, but any of you who have will know that big dogs have a really hard time running when they're trying to turn. And they start like half going sideways and skidding, sort of. It's pretty funny. We're going to go ahead and exit right here, though. And I guess we'll just leave the game on. I'm gonna go use the restroom and get some food. We've been at this for about 3 hours. I ate like right before I started, but so that we don't have to stop again, I'm just gonna make something real quick and have a little snack and take a wee. So yeah, if y'all hang on for a minute, we'll come back, and then when the game turns back on or the servers turn back on, we'll go over to a Scorch server. We'll do some more scouting, see about getting some wyvern eggs. You know the drill. Okay. I missed a whole lot of something. Did Rope really say he was a grade 5? Bolt or screw? Say what now? I am so confused by whatever just went on in the chat. So confused. I leave to go make some food, and y'all just put gobbledygook up there. Just gobbledygook. Hey, all right. Getting some rates. I hope we get some rates. I need to get this base built. Let's see if our little. They haven't updated the server rates channel in the Discord. Pizza tacos. I'm managing to upset the food sensibilities of Italy and Mexico at the same time. Sort of. Um, I actually think I'm gonna stay in the spot that I'm in. Oh, you mean the Pelagornis hole? Yeah, I'm not gonna build in the Pelagornis hole because I don't want to get dev wiped. As much as I would love to try and find a way to get in there. I just don't see it. But the spot that I'm in, despite the fact that it has a fairly wide opening, is a pretty defensible spot because it's got that enormous tree right below it, and it's got some good places for some cliff plats around it. So you can make it really time consuming, I think, to position yourself well to raid the main part of that spot. And it's so up on that cliff that there's not really an opportunity to build up there or anything like that. So basically, all the soaking you're going to be doing is off the back of a Quetzal, and that's just gross. But we'll probably stay up here. Because, why not? Honestly, lagged out. I like being at basics. This is where I enjoy the game. When I was playing with all that stuff that I got from Twisty, like it was a lot of fun, and those creatures are really cool. And having really high tier bred creatures is really cool. But when you get to that point, there's a lot of stuff in the game that you're not doing anymore. Um, you're not taming anymore. You're not. Um, you're not just flying around, right? Your whole play experience sort of becomes scheduled, and you're filling up your forges, and then you're filling up something else, and then you're filling up something else, and then you're crafting, your daily amount of whatever and your daily amount of whatever. And when you're super early in the game, when you're at the basic tier, you're sort of farming to a purpose, right? Like I want an indie forge, so I go and I farm up an indie forge. I want, this specific saddle, and I don't just have a million resources standing by, so I go and actively get that saddle. And it starts to make things take longer, and it starts to make those little bits of progress feel better. When I was playing that stuff that Twisty was giving me, um, I felt like I wasn't making any progress, even though I was making, tens of turrets a day and thousands of bullets a day. I just felt like I wasn't going anywhere. I honestly think that ARK needs to reevaluate, and I hope in ARK 2 they do reevaluate their progression um, curve, because really bad. It's really, really bad. And it's because you can get too far. The the uppermost reach of progression in this game is too much, and it takes too long to be in a game where you can lose everything by getting wiped. If you weren't able to lose everything by getting wiped, then the progression could be longer like this. But as it stands, because people who are just restarting after getting wiped have absolutely no chance against people who are, well, it's not even just solos. It's more casual tribes. It's, you know, people who don't really know how to play the game. I've talked about this before, but for my first 1,000 hours, I had no idea what I was doing. And I never had a base last more than 48 hours. And the reason that would happen is I would build in places that looked hidden to me because as a lower tier player, I didn't have the ability to see the map in the same way that higher tier players were seeing the map. Right? When you've got super high tier wyverns and, you know, tech suits and stuff like that, and you're zipping around the map really, really fast, and you're looking at it from this really elevated position, and you've already been around the map so much that you know where all the nooks and crannies are, and you can find, you know, any bases in any of those little nooks and crannies and stuff, then the game changes for you a lot. But it takes so long to get from your first time playing on PvP to the point of that understanding and, you know, to overcome all of the trials that it takes to overcome and to get wiped so many times before you finally get yourself a base or get lucky enough that you find yourself in a position where you can suddenly start seeing the map in this way. And then a lot of it sort of clicks for you and you go, oh, I've been building my bases like a dipshit for 1,000 hours. You know, and 1,000 hours for me is almost 6 months. And I play all day, every day. So the average player, right, most people who play a video game barely ever reach 1,000 hours in that video game. Heck, most of them probably don't even reach 500. So ARK, sort of by default, alienates all of those people because it's so hard to get to a point where you know what you're doing, especially in PvP. Now, in PvE, it's totally different, but in PvP, the burden of knowledge before you can survive a few days is astronomical. And it's because of that progression curve. There's a wall. I think maybe they could do something with their server structure that could potentially allow people an opportunity to sort of tier up as they move through servers. Maybe like a series of tags. So, no, that wouldn't work. Well, maybe it would. Um, nah, I don't know. I've put 500 hours into ARK recently. Yeah, so that's, I mean, that's a couple of months for you at least, though, yeah? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so that's, I mean, 12 hours a day for 30 days in a month is, a little over a month and a half, I guess. But most people don't play like that. Most people play, 3 or 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. And those are like hardcore gamers. Those of us who play an absolutely obscene amount, like myself and other content creators, I think we've started to see ourselves as hardcore gamers, and we don't understand that we're sort of this whole other tier of gamers who don't really socialize or have hobbies outside of gaming. Because I don't talk to anybody who's not a gamer, who's not just playing video games all the time, who's I mean, I stream and then I get off stream and I play video games and I'm just gaming all the time. And while ARK caters to me fairly well, and while I can have quite a bit of fun, even getting wiped over and over again, um, when you get wiped, it can take a couple of hours just to get to your first PT. And in a situation like that, you now have no way to defend that PT. So, you get your first PT and then you have to get off if you're a regular gamer, and then you lose that PT. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got dumpstered trying to get a PT the other day. It took me like 4 hours to get my first PT over on Extinction the other day. It was rough. Well, and even here I am. I play, 12 to 16 hours a day right now, and my base is still fairly primitive. I've got a couple of turrets. I've got plenty of dinos. And I'm doing fine. I mean, I have everything I need to gather resources and do other things, but it just takes so much time. You've got to smelt down metal. You've got to wait for metal to respawn. You've got to, wait for charcoal to cook. You've got to farm all these other resources. You've got to, wait for cook timers. You got to wait for craft timers. You got to. There's just an amount of time required for anything to be accomplished in this game, and it's on the scale of days, not minutes. And so, just by default, if you don't play 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, especially in ARK PvP, you just can't succeed. Now, PvE, you're fine, right? Build your little thatch hut, live in your thatch hut for a couple of weeks, upgrade it to wood, live in that for a couple of weeks, upgrade it to stone, live in that a couple of weeks. And so I think if there was maybe, yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, that 8 hour timer for imprints is pretty brutal, also. I like the imprint system. I think it's cool. I think it gives, something active to raising. And I think it's fun at the tier that I play at, where, I can go imprint the 3 or 4 dinos that I'm raising at a time. And, sometimes they want to cuddle and sometimes they want to walk and sometimes I need to cook them a little something. And like, that's pretty interesting. But then when you play at a really high tier and you've got, 300 creatures raising for every type of creature that you're breeding, that imprint stuff becomes a huge chore that takes up your entire day. And I mean, that's a system problem. And you don't want to create something that automatically imprints because that defeats the purpose, and that is drastically more valuable to alpha tribes than it is to people like me, right? Imprinting isn't really that much of a burden on me because I'm only doing it to a couple creatures at a time. But I don't know. Maybe if they made like tiers of servers where you could maybe like start a character, and you start a character on the beginner servers, and there's a beginner cluster, so you can still bounce around to all the different servers. But as soon as you transfer to a server that's outside of the beginner cluster, you can't ever go back. And maybe there can be some sort of limitation in the beginner servers about building tech or something like that, so that it would incentivize people to graduate out. And so you bring everything out of the server with you. You'd probably have to make it so that you can't ever go back in with stuff, because it would probably take a couple of trips to get all your stuff out. I don't know, but then you go to an intermediate tier, um, right? And then in this intermediate tier, maybe you have access to some of the teching rooms, but maybe not even all of them. Um, and so again, you're building up a base here. Maybe dino levels are higher, or maybe there's a cap on dino levels that's lower in previous tiers. So if you breed up to meet that cap, how's my game launching? Can you not even get launched right now, Knight? Or Knuckle? Also, welcome to the chat, welcome to the channel. Um, so I play on NVIDIA GeForce Now. I'm not playing on my local machine. And since the update that they just said they were putting out, I haven't closed and tried to reopen the game. So I don't know if I'm having that problem or not. The thing that almost always fixes issues with this game, though, Knuckle Bumper, is verifying your files in Steam. Like 9 times out of 10, if you're having a crash, if you just verify your files, it'll. Oh, interesting. When did it start? I have reset and working fine right after the latest update. Okay. Yeah, I would say that it's probably a verify files issue. It almost always is. It also doesn't look like the recent or the newest update is all the way. Yeah, I'm on Steam, Knuckle Bumper. But again, I play on NVIDIA GeForce Now, so I'm playing on a remote machine, not my local machine. And I also haven't turned off the game because it said it was a minor version update, and so it said you wouldn't have to restart your client. So I haven't turned it off. And now I'm definitely afraid to. Because the last thing I need is to not be able to get in. I don't see anything on the ARK Discord either, so they're not talking about it right now. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I enjoy the most about playing on NVIDIA GeForce Now is when huge updates like that come out, I don't have to download them. They just get done by NVIDIA GeForce Now. So I don't even have the game installed on my local machine. I personally love cloud gaming. Um, I I think that cloud gaming is the future of live service games. Um, and not just the future of live service games, but specifically the future of MMORPG games. Because you just rely on their bandwidth to download patches. I'm moving to Shadow PC after my Xbox Gold. Yeah, so what I'm doing is Knuckle. There's basically a giant server farm that NVIDIA runs, right? And it's just a bunch of computers basically that are all sharing different resources and stuff like that, video cards, and they're using like server grade hardware. So instead of, just your 2080 that's in your computer, it's a server grade video card that has significantly more resources than your 2080 does, but that then splits those resources amongst a couple of virtual machines that are being accessed by different users. And then it allocates those resources, obviously, based on usage. And so yeah, they maintain all the downloads. And they have, their list of games or whatever, and they keep all of those games up to date with new patches and all that stuff. So usually after a patch comes out, I don't have access to my game for a couple of hours because it takes them a little while to get the update, run the update, and all that stuff. But um, the the fact that it's not wearing out my hardware, the fact that it's not eating up my hard drive space, so I don't need to have some huge hard drive just so I can play ARK. I have like a 1060 video card, and that's what I stream on. But I would never be able to play ASA and stream on a 1060. That would just be impossible. The only problem is that NVIDIA GeForce Now has recently implemented a 100-hour a month limit, where you have to pay extra, which I'm grandfathered in until next year. But anybody who signs up for the service now is going to have that 100-hour limit, and I don't think that's enough. At least not for me. I guess for the average gamer, that's probably more than enough. They said only like 6% of their users use their service for more than 100 hours in a month. Yeah. Yeah, you do have to have a really good internet connection. That's true. And that does, but, um, because I game so much, I've always just had good internet. I always get good internet. Oh, yeah. No, if you've got gigabit internet, then you're good to go. I don't even have gigabit internet, and I stream and play on GeForce Now at the same time. And I have two other people in my house. Well, I did until my brother moved out yesterday. But my little brother is currently watching TV playing a video game in his room. And my older brother would be watching TV playing a video game in his room. And I can play on NVIDIA GeForce Now and stream it all at the same time. And your internet's better than mine, so the uh, the most important thing is Wi-Fi makes it pretty shit. So you want to have a hardwired connection from your modem to your PC or your router to your PC. Because Wi-Fi kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean, I don't really even notice any input lag or anything. There is obviously a little bit of input lag, but anyway, like I was saying, I think it's the future of MMOs because then you just have one hardware configuration to optimize your game for. And that's why games that are built specifically for a single console, like Xbox exclusive games, always look so good on the Xbox. Is because there's only one hardware configuration for the Xbox. And so you just optimize the game for that one hardware configuration. And that's it. And so, yeah, MMOs, while they are an extremely popular um, genre of games, most MMOs, at least when they're brand new, they're always trying to put out these really, really beautiful worlds, which I think is great. But you have to remember that the average PC gamer has, a 5 to 10 year old machine. And so the reason that esports games are so popular and do so well, like League of Legends, is because you could play League of Legends on a fucking toaster because they're optimized to give obscenely high frames to extremely good machines because really, really competitive players want to be able to play at, 180 frames or whatever with their freaking 140 hertz monitors. And so they need those extremely high frame rates. And so players who are just average people, hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, Knuckle. Um, people who just have average, 5 or 10 year old machines can still play the games at 60 frames on their 60 hertz monitors because the game is optimized and the graphical load of the game is so low that it's about the mechanics, it's about the gameplay, it's about the competitive experience. And so the more people you can reach, the better off you are. And MMOs kind of invert that. And so if you did a remote play service for an MMO where everybody was basically forced to play on a remote machine, and that was just how you accessed the MMO, you could easily do that on a subscription service, right? You set it up so that you pay, a lot of MMOs run like a $10 a month subscription service, bump it up to 15, do a $15 a month subscription service to the MMO, and then put it on a remote hardware system. Team up with NVIDIA, bundle the like full NVIDIA GeForce Now subscription into it for $20. But then people are paying $20 a month to have, a full NVIDIA subscription and the monthly MMO subscription. And then Now you have access to your entire library on your NVIDIA GeForce Now machine, and you have access to your MMO. And then if you were really smart, because NVIDIA is doing that 100 hours a month thing, make those hours separate, right? So now that you're paying for the subscription for the MMO and the subscription for NVIDIA, give the people 100 hours on the MMO and 100 hours on any other game on NVIDIA GeForce Now. So now, if you play, your 100 hours on your MMO, then you have something to fall back on. Or you might want to keep your MMO subscription, so in case you play 100 hours on something else, you can always fall back on your MMO. And that'll keep more people consistently subscribed and still give them a ton of value. Because let's face it, even I struggle playing more than 200 hours a month. So, and I do this for a living now, all day, every day. But I think that's the future of MMOs, 100%. I'm never going to be able to get back on my server. I'm so sad. Let's go back then. Let's just go into the single player here. That new Ashes of Creation game is one of them. Hey, good for you, lagged out. Hey, hey, Knuckle Bumper with the sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Welcome more officially to the channel. That's awesome. I don't know who was saying it, but I think I found. Is this the spot right here? Yeah. This is where I'd really like to build. I appreciate it. Thank you. I love me some lurkers. Oh, nice. So you understand the extraordinary pain that I'm constantly in. This is definitely where I'd like to base, but I think somebody owns this one on my server. Maybe just this space right here is so much stuff. Yeah, it is. No, this is the center. It's, right here, 3236. It's inside where the Ice Palace is at, though. So this whole room right here can be your defense loop. So I've never played Astraeus. I don't own Astraeus because I was unwilling to buy it before it's 100% complete. Just on principle. So I have not played Astraeus yet. So I don't actually know what lava island you're talking about. I haven't even watched anybody play Astraeus. You have to fly up in a little crack to get to it. Only a PT will fit, no way to get into it and raid it. Oh, that's awesome. Is it huge? That's really the problem, is like, I think this rat hole is too big for how good it is. Because this is just such a defendable entrance. Because, there aren't really a lot of good angles for throwing grenades and stuff in. Yeah, see, that's bad. Like, this would be a perfectly fine rat hole if this top section was the whole thing. But because you can, fall down this little spot here too, and go down into just this enormous cavernous space, like that's bad because now big tribes have way too much room to build way too much stuff and be basically unraidable. And you don't want your big tribes to be unraidable. Oh, hey, my server is up. It just wasn't highlighting for me automatically. Nice. You mean 94 gigabytes left, or you've already downloaded 94? I mean, from 160 something, that's pretty good. And we're gonna crash. Alright, sorry y'all. Gotta put you on a black screen for just a second here while I reload NVIDIA GeForce Now. Oh, that sucks. Um, they're patching. So apparently the minor version update that wasn't supposed to require you to log out actually does require you to log out. Yeah, well, so that wasn't the game crashing itself. That was my NVIDIA GeForce Now crashing because even though they said you wouldn't have to restart your computer, NVIDIA GeForce Now is now patching the game. So I can't play anymore for a couple hours. So I'm sorry, everybody. I mean, it looks like I really didn't want to have to only have a 4 hour stream today. The same thing happened yesterday where the game just wasn't letting us log into our server. And so we had to cut the stream short again. We've just been having so much problems with ARK lately. It's been a serious nightmare for 3 or 4 weeks now. Trying to get any sort of long form streams going on. I will be back at the regular time tomorrow, which is 3 o'clock Pacific. PM Pacific usually is when I get on. So I am so sorry to not be able to stick around and stream more today, but I will be back tomorrow to make sure and try and pump out as much value on this channel as I can. So yeah, I really appreciate everybody who was in the chat. It's always great to have people to talk to and to keep me talking about interesting topics that y'all actually want to talk about, because otherwise I'll get off in the weeds somewhere and start rambling. So thank you for keeping me focused on that. And I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow.